I was so surprised, like, oh my gosh. Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Ilana, the only Ilana, and before we get started, please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below and join the self-care family. We would love to have you here. Today I'm just following up on week 1 of my Invisalign journey, so if you're interested in watching, stay tuned. Let's get it. All right, so let's start with my first day. Now, on my first day, I ended up losing one of the buttons that they did have to put on my teeth to kind of help with the movements throughout this process. And when I realized it was missing, I called up the dentist, okay, and told him, hey girl, I'm missing a button. So anyway, I ended up having to schedule another appointment so that they can reinstall a button that should not have fallen off as soon as it did, which we'll get into that later. Apparently they do wear, but it was like my first day, so I was just like bummed out a little bit. So actually, the day that I ended up going in to get that button replaced was the day that I was supposed to switch out my trays, which was recommended. So I switched them out on that Thursday because I went on the Thursday to get the button replaced. And when I tell you that this thing works, I just can't believe it. Like how it's just like moving so fast to me. I don't know, but it's working. Remember in my last video how I was saying, and sometimes the trays get in the way of me pronouncing words, so please excuse me if I'm mispronouncing words. Anyway, so in my last video, remember I stated that you're supposed to, expect some type of movements from week to week. Hence why I have weekly trays that I need to switch out throughout this 17-week program or process. And my first day, it was like I felt the pain in my mouth. Like I felt some tugging, some pulling, something. There was some type of tension there. And I just thought it was because the trays were so tight. But they actually move. Like I can tell because when I close my mouth, my teeth are in a different position. Like, I don't know, like my whole mouth feels different on the inside. And like, no, I'm not here trying to gas it up. Of course, there's not a significant difference within the first week that I had these trays in, but I can tell the difference. Again, this is a personal experience. My experience may not match your experience or someone else's experience, but this is my experience. And honestly, I'm just trying to explain it in the best way possible for you guys. But yeah, I do feel something different going on with my teeth, just the way they're sitting along, and it feels great. Now, let's get into the pain part. The trays alone at first, you remember, like I used to talk like this because I wasn't used to them, and they were very tight. And they did touch the top of my gum area. So that caused some pain too. Like in my upper lip underneath in the gum area there. It was like painful. So I found myself doing this a lot. And so like I believe that mainly comes from, the top portion of the tray, which I'm actually going to probably just show you guys what they look like off so you can understand what I'm even talking about. So this, I just took them off real quick so I could show you guys. This is my teeth without. And you see the buttons? Those are the buttons. That's like one of the things that popped off, but it was at the bottom. But anyway, the tray, this is what the tray looks like for my upper layer. And you see this top part here? That's what was actually hitting my gum area. So I'm gonna pop these back in. I rinsed them out and everything, but you understand what I'm saying? That portion up there is what was like rubbing up against my gum area, and it was very, very irritating, not to mention also painful. So that part I did not like. Another thing that I actually wanted to talk about is how I made it through my day, or am I making it through my day with eating my meals and things like that. I'm gonna just be straight up. It's not as easy as it sounds, okay? You have to remove these trays every single time you eat and drink, with the exception of drinking water, because I do drink a lot of water and that would just get too tedious. Anyway, when you are getting ready to eat, you're all the time, you're like, oh, I gotta take out my trays. Oh, I can't eat this because I need to take out my trays. And when you take your trays out, you're supposed to be, if following the instructions, cleaning them. You're supposed to be brushing your teeth and flossing your teeth. So imagine how many times a day you would just basically be in the bathroom brushing and flossing your teeth and washing your trays just so you can eat some snacks or something. So I basically just had to start doing things differently when it comes to meals and eating. So in the mornings, I'm now, and I don't usually do this, so this has definitely changed since this process has started. The mornings, I'm making sure I'm eating something full or fulfilling and heavy enough to get me through half of my day, like the afternoon. Because I don't want to sit around starving myself just to have straight teeth. So I guess I'm doing it right. I'm eating breakfast now, and that's something that I usually don't do, or I didn't do before this process. So it has changed my life in that aspect, and I feel good actually. I'm feeling better. I have more energy starting out in the mornings. I don't drag around as much as I used to, so that's good, I guess. As far as lunch goes, I currently am working from home. So it's not that difficult as far as being able to prepare a quick meal and, have access to a bathroom with my toothbrush and things like that. But if you're someone who's working away from home and you end up needing to get, if you're going through this experience, just try not to leave your tray case, because there have been some times throughout the first week where I have gone out for lunch with my family, and I forget sometimes that I even have the trays in, and then it's just like, oh, I want to go ahead and take a bite into my meal, and then I realize I have the trays. So that's a trip to the bathroom that I have to take. Another thing that can get annoying, but it's just something to get used to, kind of find a routine on how you're going to do things. Another thing is that there may not always be a public restroom available at these restaurants, especially now during COVID. So to avoid running into a situation to where I can't go to a private space to remove my trays, I'll probably just start taking them out before I leave home, cleaning them, putting them in the case, and packing the case and taking it along with me. And the reason I say take it along with me is because I can only keep the trays out for a maximum of 4 hours a day, because I should be wearing them up to 22 hours out of the day. And to avoid losing track of how long I'm wearing them for, if I'm going to be out for a long period of time, I can just pop my clean trays in after I've eaten and rinsed with water or whatever, and just have them handy at all times, So yeah, that's just basically something that changed for me personally, something that I'll have to adjust to over time, as I'm sure things will get easier. Also, the trays during my first week were actually very, very tight and secure, which you'd be surprised to know that they do loosen up throughout the process, over time. So again, you're supposed to change the trays out weekly, and they do get easier to take out and put in throughout the course of the week, because your teeth are shifting. They are moving, which means the trays are not sitting exactly how they were before when you first put them on. When I first started wearing them, they were pretty secure, really tight, and I felt all that stuff going on. But so far for the first week, throughout that process, the trays got, I would say, looser. They weren't as tight as they were on day 1, 2, 3, etc. They did loosen up over time, which also made it easier for me to remove and put back into my mouth, which also is a great sign of movement. So that's how I know that my teeth has shifted just a bit, and that this is actually effective. The pain is less and things like that. However, I am currently on week number 2. So when I put the trays in for this week, I was so surprised, like, oh my gosh. I mean, like when I put the tray in, it felt like day one all over again, which was amazing to me. Like, I still can't believe it. So my trays are in for the beginning of week number 2. That is all I have as far as updating you on week number 1. So far, we haven't noticed a lot of progress as far as movement goes, but that will come. Please stick with me, guys. This is a process you do not want to miss out on. I am super duper excited about it, and I'm glad to have you as a part of the self-care family. I am changing my smile one day at a time. These trays get in the way of me pronouncing things.
I am changing my smile one day at a time.
That is all I have for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the self-care family. And I'll see you beauties next week. Bye.